Hey crafters, today I want to finish up the angel and I want to work on her face. This is what I finished from our last show with me to today. I got her shirt completely done and I'll let you know a little bit of a mistake that I made. So over here, this red, I was not paying attention and I filled this all with the same DMC. Got all the way through this side of her shirt, and over here when I realized, uh-oh, the DMCs changed and I completely messed up. So this color over here has a little bit more transition. The red down here, I made a mistake, but up on my wall, no one's gonna notice. And the red is very sparkly. So I'm really happy with that. Surprisingly, I think the red sparkles more than the AB diamonds. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on her face. So her face and her hands have the same DMC drills, but I only have about 15-20 minutes that I've carved out in my morning to drill today. So I'll see how much I can get done. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this side arrow. It's an orange. This is going to be DMC 3827. Oh, and the camera tilted while I was moving. Okay, there we go. The camera tilted while I was moving and I wanted to make sure I could even everything back up. So this is a nice, almost like a creamsicle orange tan. And what you see is what I see, so we have good lighting today. Where's my, here we go. Put that on her wing, just get started. So like I said, I only have about 15-20 minutes to drill. What I don't finish, I will tag on to the end of this video. So at the end of the video, you will see it completed, the angel, her face, and her hands. I wanted to spend this time talking to you about our awesome fall trip. We took a trip back in October, and I haven't made notes because I was so excited to talk about it again. And we traveled through Germany. And I was really happy with how this trip went. I told my husband multiple times that we had planned up Paris so much, and we thought it was going to be a really great time, and it ended up being Paris city ended up being like a really difficult part of the trip for our family. And then we had this fall break trip and it went so well that this is kind of what we thought our summer vacation would be like. This is what we thought how Paris would go, and it was refreshing and it was so relaxing and almost like this recovery travel trip, the way everything went. So I want to tell you about it. So we're in Frankfurt and fall break is a week and a half in October where the majority of all the schools are closed. Now, I don't know if it's every single school, but it is the majority. Like my baby's preschool was not closed, but most of the students were not there because fall break. And at the time, oh, I dropped a drill. I dropped a few drills. At the time, the coronavirus cases were low for Germany, but they were starting to go up throughout Europe. So people were planning trips, and then we have this list of, like the RKI list of places where if you visit, you have to come back and quarantine for 2 weeks at the time. You can't really take 1 week and a half off and then quarantine for 2. So as different places ended up on this list, we ruled it out. We can't travel there. And we would have loved to go back to Ireland. We found, I think it was like Ryanair, we found tickets to Ireland for 40 euros. The entire family could have round trip tickets for, I think, 200 euros. But Ireland ended up on the list and we were just looking at really cheap flights and everywhere we could go and doors were shutting. we decided to stay in Germany. And wow, we were so thankful. We planned a week-long trip where we would first stop in Berlin. Then we were going to go to Wollenberg, which is all the way at the north coast next to the Baltic Sea, and then come back down to Hamburg and then drive back to Frankfurt, driving down. So it's almost like if Frankfurt was 7 o'clock on your clock face, Berlin would be 2, Wollenberg would be like between 11 and 12, Hamburg would be 10, and then we had to drive back down to Frankfurt, which would be 7. So it was a very large loop. Oh, and I think I'm actually already done with the little side arrow. So I'm going to do N next. So when we got to Berlin, anytime we drive from the west part of Germany to the east part of Germany, I don't know what it is. Directions say 5, 6 hours, and then with traffic and construction on these major roads, it takes like 8 or 9 hours. So by the time we got there, our first day was kind of gone. But we stayed in a beautiful hotel. We stayed in this super fancy Hilton. And I think since so few people were traveling, we got an upgrade. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is way too fancy. We were able to look out our window, and this is my photo, so I can put it in my video. We were able to look out our window at this beautiful dome that was right across the street. And that was the view that we had for our 3 days in Berlin. And we were just in awe and thankful of that. And again, with like coronavirus cases in Germany, there was maybe, I think, 200 to 300 cases a day for the entire country. But we were keeping an eye on this as we went because it's important to us. In Berlin blew me away. I did not realize, I'm going to do N, which is 722. And it's just an orange, so the angel will have a tan. Berlin blew me away with how easy it was to be there, to walk around, to get through the city, and how cool and laid back it was. It just felt like everywhere that we were walking, we'd plan, let's go check this out. And then on our way, we'd see another art display. We'd see another great store we wanted to pop into. We'd see a cool museum, a statue, a monument. And the convenience and ease of walking through the city to all of these places was really great. That made it so possible for us to see so much in such a short amount of time. Now, I'm not kidding when I say by the end of that first full day of us walking around and checking everything out, we saw everything on our list to see in Berlin. And it was kind of like, wow, we need to come up with more stuff to see, because you plan it out on a map. And it's, we went to the Brandenburg Gate, and I'll put a picture of us at the Brandenburg Gate. And it was really cool because it's a 10-minute walk from our hotel. It was really great. We got to see the American Embassy in Berlin. We got to see the beautiful and moving Holocaust Memorial, which is right across the street from the American Embassy. Brandenburg Gate, we saw Checkpoint Charlie. Got to go to a car museum. There were other places we were interested in going to, other museums, but we weren't sure about bringing the kids there. We weren't sure about some of the questions they were asking, and we tried our best when they would ask questions about World War II to answer in a way that's appropriate for a child, not scary, but letting them understand. And we did. There was one museum we wanted to go into, and I wasn't sure about it, so I told my husband, like, if you want to go in, I'll hang out with the kids, like at a cafe or something. And even when he got there, he was talking to the security guard or the ticket person at the entrance, and they're like, yeah, we do not recommend this museum for anyone under the age of 12. So we're like, oh, well, if the kids can't go in, maybe it might take you a long time. We'll do this next time we come back. Berlin was beautiful, and the weather was great. We even had a moment where we just walked to the river, sat there and watched boats go by. And then somebody's playing music on a violin and a cello, and we're listening to classical music with a breeze and the sun on us. And even cooler, when we were in Berlin, my daughter's best friend was in Berlin, and we were able to meet up at a playground, and they just played at this playground for hours together. And then we did a lot of fun stuff. We got a lot of chocolate because across from our museum, our hotel in the other direction was a chocolate store. And about 2 blocks away was the Ritter Sport chocolate store. So we went there and we got to make our own customized chocolate bars, which was a lot of fun. And it was a good family time together. I'm really happy we went. And I'm happy that with the coronavirus cases at the time, they were so low, everywhere was open, that we were able, and we're thankful that we were able to get this trip in. So, oh, and by the way, Ritter Sports Bars, I remember that being a really fancy candy when I'd see it in the US, and then I come here and it's like 90 cents for the bar. Because it's made here, it's everywhere. And the same with like Haribo gummy bears. We went to the Haribo gummy bear store in Bonn, and a thing of gummy bears is 60, 70 cents. So we stocked up, and it's so good. It was really absolutely delicious. And that was our Berlin trip. I was actually sad to leave Berlin because we had such a good time there. But then we drove to Wulenberg. We knew when we picked this place out that we were going to be completely isolated. We knew based on what we saw on the internet, there would not be internet. We knew that, the next letter is actually L. Go ahead and do L right there. Oops, sorry, 721. We knew that we weren't going to have like TV channels in English. It was going to be a very isolated, just family part of our trip, but it was beautiful. So we went there so we could visit the Baltic Sea, and it was a cute kind of little, not a resort, like what would I call it? I lodge. It had a hotel, but also it had these individual half timber houses. And that's what we stayed in. I think we did like 2 nights there. 2 nights, 3 days. And I think it ended up being, maybe 40 some dollars. And I don't even, the exchange between like dollars and euros. So yeah, 40 something dollars a night. Very affordable. It had a kitchen. We picked up food. We made our meals, and we enjoyed our time there. We went to the beach once, but when you're up in the Baltic Sea in October in Germany, going to the beach was us very bundled up. Jackets, scarves, hats, and it was beautiful to see the ocean there, or the sea there. And then the rest of the time was just either hanging out in our room, or we played games. We played a lot of games together, and the place actually had a duck pin bowling alley. So the kids did some duck pin bowling, and there was really no one there. They also had a car and tractor museum where one of the floors just had display cases of different die-cast cars. So of course the little boy was really into that. And it was relaxing time. We took a day trip over to Wismar, and that is a town I definitely want to go back to. They had a beautiful craft store, super fancy. And it just another place right on the water, a lot of boats, a lot of shipping goes on there. And I guess in non-COVID times, they do different local festivals and events, and I'd love to go back and check that out. And also it seems their restaurant life, at the time, restaurants were still open, so it seems like they have a good foodie kind of tourism culture going on, and that's a place, Wismar, Germany, that is back on my list. I really want to go and spend more time there. We only did a day trip there. How am I doing on time? Okay, I still have a few minutes because, like I said, I really did carve 20 minutes out in my morning, and I don't want to be late for work. Oh no, where'd that go? Oh, that's gonna be hard. No, got it off. And then we went to our last site, which was, we went to Hamburg. And Hamburg was really beautiful. One thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video, the reason why we were trying to find places to go to is because it's my husband and I's, or was our 10-year wedding anniversary. So originally we did want to go to Ireland or try and get a grandparent or two out here to watch the kids. So maybe we could just go somewhere in Germany without the kids, but it, you know, it didn't work out that way. And when we were in Hamburg, we celebrated our anniversary. We were there for 2 nights. The first night, we actually went to a steak restaurant. And I don't know what they put in the water, but my kids were so well behaved. We have not had a dinner like this in a very long time. They didn't fight. Nobody like complained. No one was like, I don't want to eat this. You know how little kids can be. It was such a nice dinner. Oh, let me find this little, where's this little minus symbol? Oh, here. And then the next day when we woke up, we took a trip, a walking trip. We did a lot of walking in Hamburg, where we walked to see the 5 historic churches of Hamburg. 919 is the last drill with the DMC I'm probably going to get to. And like I said, at the end of this video, just keep watching. I will show you what the angel looks like completed as I finish. And I have a random lime drill in there. I'm not sure how that got there. I don't even know if I have lime in this painting. So we walked and looked at all the churches. My daughters really enjoy churches because they like going in and lighting a candle and saying a little prayer for one of our family members. It's usually, you know, one of our grandparents, not ours, theirs. One of my parents, my husband's parents, their grandparents, and they enjoy that. So we did the 5 churches. One we went to was just empty, and we went inside, we walked around, we looked at everything. Another was completely packed, line out the door, waiting. So for that one, we chose not to go inside. It was busy, and you know, no one was social distancing, and our kids, if there's that many people, you know, our kids aren't going to do that great. They're going to be in the line, kind of bumping into people. They still need reminders. So we decided to not go in. And actually, the kids didn't want to wait in the line, so that made it really easy to be like, okay, let's keep walking. But that's pretty much all we did in Hamburg. We saw the churches, and we had another nice dinner. For our actual anniversary night, we walked to an Indian food restaurant that was close to our hotel. And that dinner, the kids did okay. Not as good as the night before. Having that dinner the night before as we celebrated our anniversary a little early was really great, and just one of those times where the kids were happy and laughing, and we're all enjoying our food and chatting about our day. And I hope that's one of those meals that I remember forever. The next day at the Indian food restaurant, they were 2 6-year-olds and 3-year-olds at a restaurant eating dinner. You know, we can't ask for a whole lot from them. But one of the cool things about Hamburg is, again, this hotel that we were in, it was nice, and it had super, super cheap rooms. But it was really fancy, and I couldn't figure it out. I think it's a downtown business hotel, and since people aren't really traveling that much, they didn't get very much of the business traveler. But as we were in Hamburg, we got a gorgeous room. It was actually a corner room, so there was a lot of space. So we had our bed, and we had enough room where the kids' couch could fold out, and there was like a desk, so plenty of space in that one. And as we were in Hamburg, I'm gonna just fill in P while I wrap up here because I gotta get going. We were watching the coronavirus cases. And at the start of our trip, the cases were around 300 a day. And then by the end, when we got to Hamburg, something happened the fact that everyone was traveling, and by the end, the cases had shot up to 4,000 cases a day. And when Germany was only having 200 to 300 cases, and then it shot up to 4,000 cases, that's when we knew this is probably going to be the last time we get to leave Frankfurt in a very long time. And it was, but we had such a good trip. We're really thankful for this fall break trip that we got to be out and about, and we've decided to play it low and just stay in for the rest of the time. Also, hotels are closed unless you have like a business official travel thing going on. So we couldn't even like do a day trip or anything. But yeah, okay, crafters, I got most of her face done. I'm gonna work on her face and her hands. I'll tag this on to the end of the video, so keep watching. I'm gonna get going though. I gotta get to work, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye, crafters. And here is the angel, completely done. Looks great. The wings are massive. I mean, the angel is 4 of those mini drill boxes put together. It's quite a significant piece on this painting. And it's so sparkly. The shirt actually sparkles a lot more than the wings. And it does sparkle more in natural light. I've got the overhead light on. So that's really great. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for my next drill with me. I don't know if I can complete the 3 of them in time. I really do want to get the pyramids done, or maybe a dove or something. But I will let you know in a day or two's time. Talk to you soon. Bye, crafters.